G'day trainers, welcome to a new type of video here on the channel. So far, we've only discussed Pokemon Legends Arceus's mechanics and gameplay. What we will be adding into the mix are discussion type videos where we explore different topics, places, and of course, Pokemon throughout the Pokéverse. Today, I want to start at the very beginning, and what was for a lot of us, the very first steps we took on our journey to become Pokemon Masters. That is of course, Pallet Town, or Masura Town in the original Japanese. Pallet Town is known as the colour of pure white beginnings, which is fitting because it's where all aspiring Pokemon trainers begin their journey in the region of Kanto. Pallet Town is the smallest town in the Kanto region and is located in the lower southwest part of this map. We're first introduced to this town in Pokemon Red and Blue as it's the player character's home. In the anime, we see it in episode 1, Pikachu I Choose You, and in chapter 1 of the horribly underrated manga Pokemon Adventures, titled A Glimpse of the Glow, where we see not yet Pokemon trainer Red capture a Nidorino while the other kids in town were unable to do so. Since then, we've seen and returned to Pallet Town many times, usually in the anime whenever protagonist Ash Ketchum finishes up a journey of a specific region and before he moves on to the next. This is the hometown of Pokemon trainer Ash Ketchum and now Pokemon researcher Gary Oak, and where they both got their first Pokemon, Pikachu and Squirtle respectively, and their first Pokédex. These were both provided at the Oak Pokemon Research Lab by none other than world-famous Professor Samuel Oak, who specializes in human Pokemon relationships according to Professor Elm of the Johto region. In the games, Pallet Town only has a population of 8 residents, not including Ash and Gary as they don't live there full time and spend their days travelling. This number is a fair amount higher in the anime, but most residents remain unnamed. The most notable are Delia Ketchum, Ash's mother, and after the Orange Islands, Tracy Sketchit, who remains behind as Professor Oak's personal assistant. This low population is mostly due to how far out of central Kanto this town is, and could explain why there's no Pokemon Center or Pokemart here, meaning the closest and most likely trading partner for the town would be Viridian City. There is of course one very important building here in Pallet, and that's Professor Oak's lab, where he spends all day researching and caring for all of the Pokemon on this massive property. A part of this lab is a huge open area akin to a Pokemon reserve that's been built to replicate the natural environment for all Pokemon that call this home. This is the Oak Corral. There are large fields of grass, sand, and rocky mountain-like terrain, along with lakes to provide a suitable habitat for the numerous water-type Pokemon. When Professor Oak is not researching these Pokemon, he's preparing and caring for all of the starter Pokemon that will be offered to any 10-year-old that aspires to become a Pokemon trainer and have a journey of their own. New trainers in Kanto can expect either a Bulbasaur, a Charmander, or a Squirtle to become their first partner Pokemon, and it is Professor Oak's responsibility to ensure that these have been cared for and raised to be easier to train for all of those that are just starting out. The laboratory is where all Pokemon that are not currently travelling with their trainers will be transported, and due to the large area, they're able to spend their whole day outside of their Pokeball and developing, growing, and interacting with the other Pokemon currently living on the Corral, waiting for their trainers to swap them back into rotation. Being a former Elite Four level trainer, and very likely champion level, Samuel Oak most likely leaves his own Pokemon here in the Corral. Some of these in the anime are Dragonite, Charmeleon, most likely a Charizard by now as it was already a Charmeleon when he was 10 years old in the Celebi movie, Rotom, and Pidgey. However, their current status is unknown. In the games though, it is believed that Professor Oak would have either been the champion of the Elite Four, or a very high level trainer you would have to verse after completing the Pokemon League challenge. He would have battled you using a Tauros, Executor, Gyarados, Arcanine, and one of the Kanto starter Pokemons in its fully evolved form. Now, these Pokemon are also most likely residing here in Pallet Town and probably are running around loving life on the Oak Corral after a long career as top level Pokemon. There's also a radio station located here called the WPOK, which is hosted by DJ Marseille. However, this building doesn't play much of an importance, It's mostly overshadowed by the much larger JRBN, the Johto Radio Broadcasting Network, located in the Johto region's Goldenrod Radio Tower. Ash has left Pallet Town in an aeroplane once to the Unova region, and then returned to Pallet Town on another plane. However, it's unknown if this airport, or more accurately, landing strip, is in Pallet Town or just very close to Pallet Town. Apart from taking a plane, there are two main ways to leave Pallet. The first being the easiest, which is just walking north and heading onto Route 1, which will take you towards Viridian City and through the Viridian Forest. However, if you head south and have the means to surf, you can enter Route 21, which will lead you towards Cinnabar Island. Route 21 is definitely the more dangerous path, as depending on which generation you're playing, wild Pokemon of up to level 42 can appear in the water. In the Pokemon Adventures manga, Pallet Town is rather well known for producing exceptional Pokemon trainers, to the extent that every single winner of the Indigo League Challenge has originated in Pallet Town. In Pokemon Adventures, a forest near Pallet Town also played home to a Mew. It is unknown if this Mew had lived there long term, or if it was just travelling through the region and decided to stop for a little while. Mew is not the only rare Pokemon that has been spotted near Pallet Town though. As Ash was setting out on his very first journey, he actually saw a Ho-Oh flying over the region, most likely heading back towards Johto. The residents of Pallet Town may also be Stephen King fans. In Red's bedroom, playing on his TV, is a movie that's described as Four Boys Are Walking on a Railroad Track, which I guess canonically means that Stephen King is a part of the Pokéverse, and the existence of ghost-type Pokemon could very well explain his very creative and sometimes terrifying ideas. Alternatively, if you're playing as a female character, you'll have the movie described as a girl with pigtails is walking down a yellow brick road, meaning that Frank Baum, the author of The Wizard of Oz, is also a part of this world. Interestingly, this may give us an indication of the year the first generation Pokemon games take place. 1939 is when The Wizard of Oz came out, so the games are at least set after this date. Although, I don't think this is a big shock to anyone. The type of technology they have available to themselves, you would probably expect them to be much further along than 1939. That's it. That's Pallet Town, a small, out-of-the-way community with a welcoming and warm environment. It may be the smallest town in Kanto, and possibly the world, but I dare say it holds a special place in all of our hearts. This has been our first episode talking about the geography of the Pokemon world. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if so, let me know down below if you'd like to see more of these types of videos. Have a great day, trainers!